Hi guys, welcome to this RC Rapid Fire series. This is Prashant. I'm the founder of Word Pandit, and I'm bringing this special series of videos to you where I'll help you with small little points for RC preparation. Today we've got something which is very interesting, right? And this is a question which is going to change your preparation strategies. Why is it? The question here is, what is the importance of background knowledge in understanding passages? Now, remember one thing that I'm very big on, one thing that I keep repeating in all my videos is VARC process is VARC prep is a process, and very importantly, you've got to build your knowledge base. That's something that you've got to do. You've got to expand your knowledge base continuously. How do you build your knowledge base? I'll take up a practical example, and what do I mean by knowledge base here, right? So there are two terms, liberalization and privatization. What do these two terms refer to? What do they mean? Do you understand the difference between these two terms? If you think about it, if you understand the meaning of these two terms and the difference between these two terms, then you can use that differentiation if you solve a passage which is based on these concepts. And that's how it helps to add these terms to your knowledge base, right? Remember these two words, KB, that's something that you've got to ingrain in your thinking now, right? Privatization is the process where essentially a government changes the nature of public sector enterprises and changes the ownership structure to private ownership. So companies or organizations which belong to the government or which were public sector owned entities, now they become private entities. That is privatization. Liberalization, on the other hand, is a much wider policy tool in the hands of the governments and institutions which manage the economy, wherein you open the economy, right? So institutions would here even include the finance ministry. So liberalization is a policy, right, where you reduce the trade barriers. So privatization actually might be one of the things which might be one of the tools employed in a wider policy of liberalization. India liberalized as an economy in 1991. Our trade barriers were removed, MNCs were allowed, FDI was allowed. All of a sudden you had a lot of investment coming into the country, and trade restrictions in terms of taxes on foreign goods, in terms of restrictions on entries of other foreign players into our country, those were removed, right? So that brought in a lot of investment into the country, that brought in progress, that set up an economic cycle where progress began to take place. So that was the process of liberalization. Privatization is one part of it, right? At times is one part of it, could be a part of that process. So privatization is nothing else. So for example, if there is a government sector entity and you turn it from the government sector, its ownership changes to it becomes a private sector organization. That is privatization. So it is that single act. Liberalization, on the other hand, it's a policy decision on the scale of the economy. So that's the difference between the two. Now, if you understand this difference, right, and if you understand the difference between these two terms, so if there is a passage which is based on the subtle difference between these two terms, then you will be in a much better position to understand the passage, questions based on it, reasoning contained in it. So this is how your background knowledge helps you. The more familiar you are with these terms, the better is your comprehension. The Word Pandit course is all about these terms. It's about understanding these little nuances. It's about increasing your knowledge base. That is what I talk about. That is what I essentially promote, and that is what I keep telling all my students. You've got to build your knowledge base. You've got to expand your knowledge base. The deeper your knowledge base, the better your understanding. The better your understanding, the better your chances of succeeding in VARC. So that's what Word Pandit course is all about. I hope you learned something very valuable from this video, and I hope you can apply this skill of learning as many terms, as many things about this world as possible in increasing your knowledge to help with your RC prep. I end on the two words that I end all my videos on, and I hope you had a pleasant learning experience here. And that is all for this particular video. Thank you very much for watching this video. Happy learning.